Akadosh Boker Or, Daf Yomi Masechet Sanhedrin. We are on Daf Kuf 100. Yeah, Kuf Amud Aleph. We were talking about what is considered a apikoros, or what is considered any of these things, and we were saying Rava comes and he gives an example. Kigon Hani, the Binyamin Asa, just like the people of the house of Binyamin Rofeh, Binyamin the doctor. The Amri that they used to say, Maya Hanin le Rabbanan. What do we need these rabbis? What are the rabbis helping us out for? Yeah, Meolam lo shalulan orba. They never permitted us to eat ravens. Velo asrulan yonah. They didn't permit to us the yonah, which means the chachamim didn't give us any differences of heterim or this or that. Meaning, what are they really helping us for? Rava, kiavumaita trefta dve Binyamin kame. So when they used to bring from the house of Binyamin and Rofeh a balchai to do shchita, right, to see if it's a trefa or not, whenever he used to try to find something le'eter, Amar Leu used to tell them, look, the kasharina lechu orva. I'm permitting you the orev. What does that mean? Really, in the Torah, maybe this should have been bad, but I'm permitting it to you. I'm saying you could have it. When he used to see something le'isur, Amar Leu techsu, kasanu yonah. Right? I'm prohibiting you a yonah. Right? Rav Papa comes and he says, Kegon de Amar, another person that they don't care about Talmidei Chachamim. So he comes and he says, Hanu Rabbanan, Rav Papa, right? These rabbis, Ki'ilu that it was like those Chachamim, right? Those rabbis. Elu is like these ones, like as if like like a zilzul. These rabbis. That's what they would say. So he says, Rav Papa Ishtale ve'amar, Kegon Hani Rabbanan ve'etiv benatanita. Right? He went and he said, Hani Rabbanan. And because he went and he said, Hani Rabbanan, he did a ta'anit. Meaning, when he went and he said, these rabbis, Rav Papa, he did a ta'anit because look, how could he even speak about that in disgrace? Levi bar Shmuel v'Rav Huna bar Chia, havuka mitakne mitpachot sifrei dever Rabbi Yehuda. So they were fixing the arige kisui la'atov b'hem kitvei HaKodesh. They used to fix like the mapa on the Sefer Torah or Sefer HaKodesh. Kimatul Megillat Esther, when they got to Megillat Esther, Amri they used to say, Hi Megillat Esther, doesn't need a mitpachat. Amar lehu, he says, Ki agav nanami. Right? That's also. Michsi ki afkiruta, it looks like a repi korsut. Right? It looks like a, right? Why? It's like a chutzpah. So Nachman Amar, Zeh koreh l'Rebbi bishmo. A student that calls his rabbi by his name. That's called, right? A student that calls a rabbi by his name, that's also called, right, apikoros. Tamar Rabbi Yochanan says, Rabbi Yochanan, he says, Mipnei ma ne'enash kechazi.
Let's say the rabbi since he's
So how do we know that if a person is going to call his rabbi by his name? So he says, I'm Rabbi Yochanan, why was Gechazi punished that he doesn't have a chelek olam ba? Neshekara lerabo bishmo, was he called Elisha Navi by his name? Shneimar vayomer Gechazi Adoni HaMelech, zot ha'isha ze bena shel Echia Elisha. When he was speaking to somebody else, he went and he said, this is the child. Elisha came and he revived. So now, what do you mean Elisha? This Elisha is rabbi. He didn't, so therefore he doesn't get olam haba. Yativ Rabbi Yirmiyah kamed Rabbi Zera. Rabbi Yirmiyah was sitting in front of Rabbi Zera. Yativ came and he said, Atid HaKadosh Baruch Hu lotzi nachal miret kol HaKadoshim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the future will take out a nachal. Ve'alav kol minei megadim, and there's going to be a whole bunch of megadim, which is basically like, like etzim. Shneimar b'zeh in pasuk. V'lanachal ya'aleh al tzvato mizeh u'mizeh, koletz ma'achal lo yibol aleh v'lo yitom piryo lechodashav yivaker. Ki memav min hamikdash. Hem ha'yotzi v'ya piryo l'ma'achal v'lo l'utfa. Amar le'ahu saba. Yishar. Which means it's good that you said. Cherem Rabbi Yochanan. Amar le Rabbi Yirmiyah le Rabbi Zera, ki agavna mi nichsik afkiruta. Says, does it look like a chutzpah? Which basically means that ki'ilu that he's showing that he agrees, like a ki'ilu that he's agreeing with his rabbi. That ki'ilu his rabbi needs him. So what? The rabbi doesn't need you. So the fact that you come and you show that ki'ilu the rabbi needs you, so therefore that's considered what? Right? That's considered afkiru, that's considered apikursut. Why? Because ki'ilu what? What are you showing? You understand? So Elmaleh comes and he says, right? Ha-hai sayua kamisayelecha. He says, this is going to help you. If you actually heard the pirkusut, so then fine. כי עד ראיתי רב יוחנן וקדרי, שעתיד הקדוש ברוך הוא להביא הבנות טובות ומגליות שהן 30 עד 30 אמות. Do you know that in the future, הקדוש ברוך הוא is going to bring stones, which are going to be 30 by 30 אמות, וחוקק בהן 10 ברום, right? 20 מעמידם בשערי ירושלים. שנאמר, ושמתי כקוד שמשותייך, he says, הוא שלח לבני אקדח. לגלג עליו אותו תלמיד. There was a תלמיד that laughed about that. Amadi said, he says, we can't even find beautiful stones, which are small, like I don't know what. He says, you're going to find stones which are going to be 30 amot by 30 amot. You know what that is? A huge stones, like you have beautiful stones. Liyamim, it happened afterwards, Tifliga Sfinato, that he went on the sea, and he found Malachei Asharet, that they're carving out Avanim Tovot Margaliot. Amar lehu, he told them, Hani, what is that? Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to put this in Sharei Yerushalayim. And it's going to be huge stones. Yeah, this is what he's putting in Sharei Yerushalayim. He had that when he came back, Ashkechel Rav Yochanan, he found Rabbi Yochanan. Tiati v'kadadish. Amaleh, he says, Rabbi, derosh, ulchan ha'el ledrosh. He says, Rabbi, you give beautiful divrei Torah. He says, why? Keshem she'amarta ken ra'ita. Just like what you told me, that's what I saw. I saw the Malachei Asharet, and I saw Amarlo, he said, Reka. Reka. Empty one. Im lo ra'ita. If you didn't see. Yeah? He says, if you didn't see. He said, Lo hemanta. You wouldn't believe? He says, I don't understand. You wouldn't believe? Melagleg al divrei chachamim ata. He says, you're laughing at divrei chachamim. Yahiv be'eneh, he put his eyes on him. V'asa'ol gal shel atzamot. He made him a pile of bones. Yeah? I'm not looking at you. Yeah, he made him a pile of bones. Okay? So, Medvei, he comes and he asks the following question. Va'olechet commute, you're going to go with Koma Zekufa. Rabbi Meir comes and he says, Ya matay mama ki shte komot shel Adam Rishon. It says it was going to be 200 amot, just like double of Adam Rishon. Meaning, after he sinned, HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought him down to 100 amah. Beforehand, he was 100 amot. That's 50 meters high. Adam Rishon. But that's after he sinned. Yehuda omer me'ama keneged Hechal ve'kotlav. It's like the Hechal and the Kotel. Shneimar asher banenu kitiyim gdolim medunem v'notenu chazaviyot mechutvot v'nit Hechal. Just like the Hechal. The Hechal was 100 amot of length. Right? So he says, yeah, but he says it was only 20 of height. So he says, Ki kamar Rabbi Yochanan lechave b'devei zikah, to the chalonot, which that's where it comes inside. Mai ve'aleu litrufa. What does it mean? Aleu litrufa. What does that mean? He says it's to open up the mouths of the mute. Meaning when you're going to come and eat these leaves, alim trufa, it's going to be a cure. You're going to be able to eat. Imagine right now you come, you take a guy that he can't speak, and you tell him, how much are you going to pay me to speak? I'm going to give you a leaf, you're going to eat the leaf, and boom, you're able to speak. Yeah? The chadamar, natir pel shel mata. What does that mean? For a woman to be able to have children. To open up the pel shel mata. Itmar nami is also said, chizki amar latir pel shel ilmin, par kaparama latir pe akarot, the akara, the ones which are barren. Rabbi Yochanan amar li trufa mamash. Rabbi Yochanan says it's mamash a trufa. Ma li trufa. Shmuel Nachmani amar the Torah panim. It means that he should have a shel baalei peh, which means that, you know, that they have, it's like a mamash, it's like a refuah, for the ones which are for the Baalei Torah. What does that mean? Ba'olam hazeh, meaning that their faces become old because they're learning so much in the Torah. But in the future, right, it's going to be shining forth, meaning their faces will be shining. The Rash of Yehuda Simon says of Yehuda Simon, Kol mashchir panav al divrei Torah ba'olam hazeh, anybody that makes his face black on the Torah in this world, HaKadosh Baruch Hu mavik zivav le'olam haba, he will lighten himself. He'll lighten his face for Olam Haba. Shneimar, Mareu kal levanon bachul karazim. Amar tanchum al chanilai. Kol amariv atzmo al divrei Torah b'olam hazeh. If a person comes and he doesn't eat properly because he's learning so much Torah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu must be all Olam Haba. HaKadosh Baruch Hu make him savea, satiated in the next world. Shneimar, yirviu midesh v'tech v'nachal adecha tashkem. Yata Rav Dimi Amar, when he came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel, he said, Atida HaKadosh Baruch Hu yiten lechol tzadik v'tzadik melo umso. In the future, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give him a full hand. Shneimar Baruch Adonai Yom Yom Ya'amos Lanu Yeshotena Sela. What does that mean? He's going to give him all the good. So Abaye says, "V'chi efshar lomar ken." Can you actually say that? V'lo kvar ne'emar. It says, "Mi madad b'sha'olo mayim v'shamayim bazeret tiken." He says, "Who's going to come and is going to get a growth of mayim, right? And meaning he's going to take his fistful of water, and he's going to have the shamayim with his zeret, with his pinky. What does that mean? Meaning that Melom Sova Kadosh Baruch Hu is all the seas of the world. Put all the seas of the world, and that's going to be Keilu, the Melom So. Yeah. So Amar, he comes and he says, "My tamalo shchichta bagata. Why aren't you by Agada?" The Amri b'Marava, Mishmed Rabba bar Mari, Yatid Kadosh Baruch Hu litin tzadik utzadik. 310 olamot, 310. Shai olamot. Shneimar, Tanchil olavai yesh. Yesh is shai. Otzetam Elmaleh. Yesh is the gematria tlat me'av asarave, 310. So you see from here, right, that it is going to be enough that each person will come and have 310 worlds. To have 310 worlds, it's going to be enough like the seas of the world, the rivers of the world, right? All the oceans of the world. Tanya, we learned in the Braita. Rabbi Meir says, "B'midah she'adam moded, modedin lo." The way that a person comes and he's going to act when doing a mitzvah, min hashamayim, they're going to do the same thing. Meaning, if he comes and he gives to an ani meloch ofnaf with his full hands, Hakadosh Baruch Hu will give him also with his full hands. Dichtiv b'sasea b'shalechat rivena. He says, "Can you say that?" So he says, "Adam noten melo muso la'ani ba'olam hazeh, sheHakadosh Baruch Hu noten lo melo muso lo ba, v'aktiv v'netzvetem v'shamayim b'zeh tiken." V'atau yomer ken, ezo imidam ruba midah tova ruba midah puro. Meaning, when Hakadosh Baruch Hu pays back, what does he pay back better? The good or for the bad? Right? Kufa Mubet. So he says, Have Omer Midat Tova, right? The Midat Tova is better than Midat Puranut. Midat Tova Ktiv, Zitzut Vaitzav, Hashem Shechakim, Mimal, Vedatel Shamayim Petach, Vemtel Leheman Lechol. Midat Puranut is written, Parubot Shamayim Niftachu. Right? That he's going to open up the Rubot Shamayim. So the Midat Puranut, right? He comes and he says, Ktiv Yatseu, that they came out. Ishtachvol Hashem Vetamigdash. And they see this is by the people that died by Gog and Magog. Right? Because the Rima, which is the worms, they're not going to die. And the fire which burns their bodies will not distinguish. They're going to be for Chirpa Vizayon for all Basar. If a person puts his hand in the fire, even for a second, he gets burnt. Just like he gave the koach and the reshaim to receive their puranut, so too he's going to give to the tzaddikim the koach in order to receive the good. Meaning they need the koach to receive the good, just like the reshaim need the koach to receive the bad. Rabbi Akiva says, "Afa kore b'safarim achitzonim." You know who else doesn't get olam haba? Somebody that reads external books. Sfarim chitzonim. So says the Gemara, Tana, the Sifret Sodokim. We're talking about the Sifret Sodokim of Kofrim. And when you come and you start reading books of Kofrim and of all these things, that in essence is what's called, right? Why? Because there are things that take you out of the religion. So these are all these types of books which are problematic. So he comes and he says, of Yosef Amar B'Sefer Ben Sira Nam Yasul Yikre. You're not allowed to even read in the book of Ben Sira. Okay? Amarle Abaye says Abaye my what's reasoning? If it's going to be because it's written Mishum Dichtiv Lotintosh Igildala, which means don't come and skin a fish, right? Meudne from its ear, right? Delo lezel mashke lechavla, because it shouldn't go to libur. Elatzali yate benuda, but roasted in a fire. Ve'echel beturtin gritzim, and then you're going to eat tuchalot lechem imi pashte, right? If you're going to come and prohibiting because of that, don't destroy the wood. If it's going to be because of a midrash or a charak mashmalan, Stam is telling you the lo livor shelo kedarka. That he comes and he says a person shouldn't have relations with his wife shelo kedarka, the other way around, right? Which means that Stam he's giving a. So what's the problem? Because of that, you're not going to learn it. Why not? But it's written bat leavia matmonet shav. He says when a person has a girl, it's like a matmonet shav. It's like a otzar of kazav. Why? Because no matter how much he's going to try to sell her like an amay vriya, right? And then right, he says mipachta, because of a daga lo yisham balayla. He's not going to come and sleep at nighttime. Bekatnuta shema titpateh, benaruta shema tizne, bagra shema lo tinaseh, niset shema lo yelu banim, hiskina shema tasek shafim. You know, so basically he was saying a girl is only worries. He says why? When she's little, right? He's afraid maybe she's going to be seduced to znut. When she's already in Na'ara, maybe she's going to go to znut. When she becomes a Bulgeret, right? Maybe she's not going to get married. When she gets married, maybe she's not going to have kids. When she gets elder, maybe she's going to start doing witchcraft. So Rabbanan Nami Amra, so Amrua, he says, yeah, but you can't have the world without males and females. So it's good that a person has boys, and woe to a person that has girls. So there's a whole thing here. What does that mean? So because of that, it's not a siba to prohibit ben sira, ela mishum dichti, but rather because it's written, lo ta'il davya b'libach, the gavre gibarim v'katal davya. Because of the tsa'ar, right? You already killed anashim giburim, which means he says, Shlomo Amra. Shlomo said this already. What does that mean? When a person is worried, speak to other people. One of them says, take it off your mind. And one of them says, speak to other people in order to get it off your mind. Right? So therefore, it can't be this one either. But rather it's certain. Don't bring a lot of people into your house. Don't bring everybody. Right? Now, why? He says, Rabbi Nami Amra. He says, Rabbi said the same thing. The Tanya Rabbi says, Leolam lo yirbe adam. A person should not have re'im betoch beto, too many friends in your house. Shneimar ish re'im litroea. Right? Because at the end, they're going to fight with you. Meaning, you're going to bring a lot of people into your house. You know, you think you're being a nice guy. At the end, they're going to fight with you. So don't bring too many friends into your house. Yeah? So he says, Ela mishum dichtibas. There's another pasuk then. It says there's zaldekan, which is a dal zaken, which is a person that doesn't have a lot of beard. Urteman, or a chacham that's charif. Avdekan, somebody that has a lot of a beard. Sachsan, which is a shoteh. Tenafach pekiseh, that he's coming and he's blowing in the beer. You know, the beer, it's got like the spuma, the thing on top of it. I don't know, you call it the gas or whatever that's on top. Right? Lo tzache, so he says that he's not thirsty. Amar b'mayechul, how's he going to dip the bread? Lach masav mine, take the bread. Right? Why? Because this is showing that he's not hungry. Madiit lemabarta b'dikneh, somebody that has zakan, which is split into two. So he says, Kule ama lo yachlele, nobody could win him. So what? This is like dvarim betelim. But it's not. So because of dvarim betelim, that's why they said, right? It's not the stam bitul. It's like bitul Torah bechinam. It's not really bemet. So fine. There are other things though that was written in Sefer Ben Sira that was actually correct. Amar Rav Yosef milim al yata ditve. There's also good things written in Ben Sira. It says isha tova matana tova. When you have a good woman, she's a good present. Bechek yireh Elohim tinaten. This, by the way, when the minhag of Sfaradim is to say this when a girl is born. When somebody has a baby girl, the Sfaradim say bechek yireh Elohim tinaten. Right? Which basically means that she should have a good zivug with a person that's a God-fearing person. Ishara'a, a bad woman, sarat lebala. It's sarat for the husband. Maita kante, what should he do? Yigashena mi beto, divorce her. Yitrape mitzarato, and get out of the tzarat. Meaning only when he gets divorced, then he's going to get out of the tzarat. Okay? So he says, Isha yafa, a beautiful woman. Ashre bala, fortunate. Yeah? He says, Ashre bala, fortunate is the husband. He's got double life. Mamash, when a person has a beautiful woman, he's got everything that he needs. Don't look at a beautiful woman that's a married woman. You're going to get caught in the trap. Don't come to the husband to start giving him yain v'shechar. Because a lot of people were destroyed in this world because of a beautiful woman. And then they're going to be destroyed also for Olam Haba. Meaning they come, they start with the husband, giving him to drink, this, and then all of a sudden they come and they go with the wife. So he says it's going to destroy them from a lot. There are a lot of people that are going around selling tachshite nashim. That they come and they do avera. Just like the fire that comes and starts making a fire. So to their houses are full of mirma, of deceit. Don't let everybody into your house, and don't bring everyone into your house. Rabbi Miyudo Sheshlomecha, right? That you love everybody. Even if you love them, you tell your secrets to 1 in 1,000. And even from your wife, don't give her all the secrets. Don't reveal all your secrets. Don't be worried about tomorrow's worrying. You're not going to know what the day will give you. It could be that tomorrow you're not going to even be there. So therefore you're going to be suffering on a world that's not even yours. Right? All the days of the ani is bad. And Sirah says that even the night times. Because the lowest of the roofs are his. And his vineyard is going to be on the highest. Okay, and then we're going to have a siman. The siman is Zerah, Rava, Meshashia, Chania, Tuvia, Yana, Yafe, Yochanan, Menachem, Yoshua, Mekatzer. Says Rabbi Zerah, Amar Rav, what does it mean? Kol yimei ani raim? Elu ba'alet Talmud. This is the word, the Talmud. That means his days are bad because of all the questions that he has in the Talmud. So therefore, V'tov lev mishte tamid. Who's the person that's always happy? Ba'ale Mishnah. Why? Because it's easy to learn the Mishnayot. Rava says the opposite. V'ayinu damar Meshashia, Mishved Rava, may dichtiv Masiyah, Avanim, Etzah, Yatzev Bahem. Elu ba'ale Mishnah, okay? It's Yisachem is ba'ale Talmud. Rav Chanina Omer, Rav Chanina says, Kol yimei ani raim, all the days of an ani is bad. A person has a bad wife, all his days are bad. Tov lev mishte tamid, and if a person has a good live tov lev, is yeshlo isha tova. Rabbi Yana Omer, Kol yimei ani raim is istani, somebody that's finicky, very picky. Tov lev mishte tamid is shadato yafeh. He's everyone likes him, he accepts everything. Rabbi Yochanan says, Kol yimei ani raim, zerachmani, somebody that's rachman. Tov lev mishte tamid zeachzari. Rabbi Yoshua lev yomer, Kol yimei ani raim ze shadato ktsara. That he gets very angry very quickly. Which means he doesn't get angry quickly.